During his funeral, the Duke of Edinburgh will be interred in the Royal Vault of St. George Chapel at Windsor Castle. But this will not be his final resting place, as his body will be moved when Queen Elizabeth II dies. According to reports, Philip's body will be transferred to King George VI Memorial Chapel to lie next to his wife of more than 70 years. His coffin will be interred in the Royal Vault for the time being and will be placed on a catafalque on a marble slab in the choir. It will be lowered into the vault by an electric motor. The chapel at Windsor Castle houses the remains of the Queen's father George VI, the Queen Mother and her sister Princess Margaret. The Queen's sister Margaret, who died in 2002, was cremated and her ashes were placed in the Royal Vault. They were eventually moved to the George VI Memorial Chapel with her parents' coffins when the Queen Mother died 2 weeks later. Lady Glenconnor, a lifelong friend of the princess, said in 2002, "She told me that she found Frogmore very gloomy. I think she'd like to be with the late king, which she will now be. There's room, I think, for her to be with him now." King George VI died in 1952 and Prince Philip had to break the sad news to the then Princess Elizabeth while on a royal visit. Her father was first interred in the Royal Vault and moved to the tiny chapel when it was built 17 years later. The Royal Vault at Windsor Castle was created between 1804 and 1810 for George III, who died in 1820 and was buried there. George IV and William IV are also interred in the Royal Vault. Other royals buried there include George III's wife Queen Charlotte and their daughter Princess Amelia. George IV's daughter Princess Charlotte and Queen Victoria's father the Duke of Kent are also buried in the special vault. Announcing Philip's death, Buckingham Palace issued a statement on Twitter and tributes began pouring in. The statement read, "It is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen announces the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. Further announcements will be made in due course." The royal family join with people around the world in mourning his loss. Prince Philip's funeral will take place at 3 p.m. on Saturday, April 17. The ceremony will be held at St. George Chapel, on the grounds of Windsor Castle, and will be televised. Due to coronavirus restrictions, just 30 people will be allowed to attend, socially distanced. Yesterday the list of guests was announced. They include, the Queen, Prince Charles, Camilla Duchess of Cornwall, Princess Anne, Vice Admiral Sir Timothy Lawrence, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, Sophie Countess of Wessex, Lady Louise Windsor, Viscount Severn, Prince William, Kate Duchess of Cambridge, Prince Harry, Princess Beatrice, Eduardo Mapelli Mozzi, Princess Eugenie, Jack Brooksbank, Peter Phillips, Zara Tyndall, Mike Tyndall, Earl of Snowdon, Lady Sarah Chatto, Daniel Chatto, Duke of Gloucester, the Duke of Kent, Princess Alexandra, Bernard, Hereditary Prince of Baden, Prince Donatus, Landgrave of Hesse, and Countess Mountbatten, Penelope Penny Knatchbull.